Hey, everybody. Welcome to Centered Healers. My name is Debbie Joe. And what is the topic today? The topic seems to be, what are you doing with your life? What does that look? How is that looking? And I'm just going to give you a little rundown real quick of what that could possibly be and how that looks. So, yay. What I know we've said this several times because I am expanding consciously in the moment of living. Like, it's pretty chilly here, so I've got a hoodie on. So excuse me for just jumping on here and sharing, but sometimes in the moment is when it typically happens. So expansion. What does that look like? Where is that coming from? What does that revolve around? How loosely do we use that terminology? And where do we go with that? So it's super important. Just know that this is probably going to be a rambling, but I do have meaning and purpose for it. So it's super important to ask yourself, what am I doing with my life? There's, I don't know, 8 steps that we can go over. The second thing is I started a podcast today on Spotify and expanding my comfort zone. Because if people truly, truly knew me as much as we like to know each other, this is all foreign for me. This is also very outside of my box and in the field of doing what I'm doing. Like, some people just do this authentically and perfectly, right? Like, this is I would say an overcoming fear. I'm not fearful of outcome of whatever, but I am very much, do I say it perfectly? Box checker, right? Like, I just naturally, I'm like, I got to say this perfect, and I've got to get my point across perfectly, and I've got to do this perfectly, and I've got to do that perfectly. And I will tell you, I'm the most perfectly imperfect individual that absolutely roams the planet Earth, and I am okay there. And that how that looks for people is it's okay, right? Like, I see this whole dynamic of, I watch YouTube videos to expand, like, how do I grow this channel? What do I do? Where do I go? And they talk about perfectionism all the time. Hold on one second. Sorry, had to take a pause for a second for my pup. And so in this expansive awareness and understanding and where we're at and where we're headed, can we not just simply embrace that we can do something perfectly imperfect and that is okay and it is good enough? Like, I get it. Don't have the perfect thumbnails. Don't have the perfect video ending. I forget half the time to introduce myself. I, say like, subscribe, and follow along for, I don't know what particular reason, except for, YouTube says, hey, that's what you got to do. And that's totally cool. And I get it. And I'm trying. And can we not honor and value each other for the fact that we've showed up today to try? And that we're overcoming something that is so could cripple others in doing so. Like, if I'm not truly walking my path to help other people, and I'm getting all caught up on, oh my gosh, my hoodie looks funny, or my hair's mess, and I'm not perfectly put together today because I'm perfectly imperfect, but I wanted to celebrate that I started a podcast. And, I really wish I knew how to share it on here and put a little zinger by and say, oh, hey, here's my podcast. Go follow. I have 0 subscribers. Like, but what what kind of unreal expectations are we implementing upon people's lives that we think that we have to have it all put together and it perfectly present itself? Because isn't part of the journey looking back at what we first did and being like, wow, look at the growth, the perspective, the understanding, the self-love, the courage, the overcoming capabilities of just hitting play and doing this and recording it on Zoom to upload to YouTube or podcast or whatever. And, like I said, I just finished, it's a podcast. It's Centered Healers is doing it, but you know, the whole question is what are you doing with your life? Like, that's the podcast. What are you doing with your life? Right? Like, I want to ask questions that make people think, like, what are you doing? It can't possibly be what they've indoctrinated us to believe that it is. Are we really truly walking in a sense of being proactive in our mind body and our physical body and our speech and our dialogue that is nurturing, uplifting, and creating awareness for humanity, that we can do things perfectly imperfect and be okay there, right? Because if we're not showing our flaws, downsides, etc., then are we not barking? My dog just barked. Are we not portraying what we say we're trying to uplift for? So it's a conundrum or an oxymoron. I don't know which one. So hold that thought. I've got to pause for a second. Hey, I'm back. Had to let the pup in. So if we are presenting our best self at all times, and it's only for 15, 20, 30 minutes on here, and it's supposed to be perfect, like artistically, designer wise, editorial wise, it's supposed to be perfect. Yet I'm a perfectly imperfect person. How is that aligning to say it's okay to do this, and it's okay to try, and it's okay to be better than you were yesterday because you learned something from yesterday that you didn't know, but then you can expand on it, and expansively we're learning new things and growing and being centered as we do so. And that no one is perfect, but no one is not imperfect. So we're perfectly imperfect. And I don't know why I need to nail that home, but I'm feeling that is something that needs to be shared. And what are you doing with your life? Like, where are you going? What is it that we can do to uplift, support, and like your journey? Like, I think that that's super important. If you're just starting out and you come across this and you don't understand what Centered Healers is about, and being a centered individual, not just a healer for others, but when we heal ourselves, we help heal other people. Nicole is perfectly correct in that, right? And it's beautifully done. And which she was on another episode. You can go watch it. You'll hear her say it. So just embrace the journey is basically what I'm trying to say. And that by embracing each step, honoring the flow of creativity, like, right? Like, if it's, you need to go paint today, or you need to go build a structure today, or whatever it is what you're doing, there's no wrong in whatever you choose to do. Don't do harm to anybody, but if a YouTube video is what you really want to do, then do it. Be the difference, be the encourager, be the person that makes a difference, because you could just need to help one person overcome something. Just one person that's all I want, is to help one person overcome something. And if that one person helps somebody else overcome something, then I think I've done something. And I think each of us, if we just all take that mentality of How can I help one person overcome something? Like, if I can do that, just one person, if we all 8 billion people said today, I want to help one person. Can we have that kind of movement? Can we collectively get 8 billion people for one day to go out and do something nice for someone else? Can we get that done? Is that a possibility? One day, just one day, that every single person in humanity chooses to come from the heart space one day, and their only goal that day is to help one other person. 8 billion people turn to help one other person. Do you know that's our problem solved, right? Because that would ignite such a gift to think every single day, to wake up, how can I help one person? Can we be that change? Can we make that difference? I'm trying by being here today. I wasn't going to do a video because my hair wasn't done. My makeup's not on. I'm in a hoodie. Overcame podcasting. Thank goodness I have a little nifty microphone now. Maybe it sounds better. I don't know. We'll find out here in a minute when I hit upload. So make and be the difference, as perfectly imperfect as we are. Much love and light to each and every single one of you. Thanks for stopping by, watching this rant, rave, whatever we decide to call this. But what are you doing in your life? So I hope that you're encouraged tomorrow to go tomorrow and help one person. Thanks, guys. See you later.